Hello, everybody. This is Ferris.
And this is Caleb Lenore, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with the Homecare Guyz. Ferris, how is everything with you today, brother?
Man, everything is well. Everything is well, man. I'm coming off of so last night I went to an event. It was actually shout out to Kyla Caslin and Jason Caslin. They actually did an event called the Black Ice Gala.
Oh yeah,
celebrating entrepreneurs. It was in Macon, Georgia.
Nice. And
so when a chance to go there and actually met so many different entrepreneurs and to celebrate entrepreneurship. It was actually really good. Had an amazing speaker that talked about the Eagles, and he gave some really good analysis and stuff that I never knew about Eagles as well. That I took notes on.
Okay, I was about to say, please give us one if you can, if you remember.
One note is so
if you remember, I ain't trying to throw you on.
No, I remember, and I have it on my phone as well.
Okay.
One thing he talked about is how Eagles when they transition to that next level. They go up on one of the highest peaks of the mountain, high above in the mountains. And what they do is they go there, and for their transition, because Eagles, they typically live to be 85 years.
Wow.
And so what they do for a certain, I think it's 5 to 8 months. What they do is during that time frame of transitioning, that eagle goes through and tear and pluck the feathers off of their body. Then they go through and pull their talons out as well. Then they go through and beat their beak into the wall. And so that now new talents can grow and that a new beat can grow. And what that represents for us is sometimes you have to go to a high level for that transition. And one thing that I took away from it was like, man, sometimes even though you're going through pain as an entrepreneur, it's worth it, because what it does, it extends the life of you as an entrepreneur as well. So, and I can't wait to go through and study it even more. I'm like, they actually pull out their talents and they go through a painful transition.
Right.
And that's like a lot of times in business, we go through painful transitions, but it's for something greater. It's to go through and extend the life.
Oh, that's a great way. That sounds like a horror movie in a way, but that's amazing.
That's how you kick off a podcast.
But it's amazing. But think about growth. The growth is always challenging. Growth is always challenging and painful.
Yes.
Especially if you think, like, oh my goodness, I don't want to change. And so for that eagle to do all of that stuff in order to emerge into a new level of not only beauty, but power and strength and resilience, I think that's amazing.
And Caleb, I'm going to tell you one thing that I think Kylo actually mentioned this as well, is when they go up to the next level, they're surrounded by Eagles don't hang around with pigeons. They're surrounded by other eagles to go through and actually act as a shelter, as a protection. And that kind of talks about our circle. Our circle, when we're there being vulnerable, plucking the feathers and taking the talent, it's not people that's going to go through and push you off the edge so that you die. It's for those individuals that are there for you to see what's going to come and make you better. It's amazing. I can't wait to go through and study that in further detail.
Well, shout out to Coach Kyla and Jason and Black Ice. That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, actually, that's a good segue, but that's a good segue into our conversation, which is our conversation. We talk about how to stop caring about others' opinion. How to stop caring about others' opinions. And sometimes, especially, I know when I was growing up, Ferris, especially in high school, and typically everyone cares what other people thinks about them. Yes. And so we want to talk to you today about really showing you like how to stop caring about that, because in order to be successful in life, you have to, there's a few people that you want to value, or you value their opinions and things, but you can't care about 99% of what everybody think about you.
Exactly. I think that's one thing is like society, the social norms, it actually, people naturally want to congregate in groups. People naturally want to be accepted.
Right.
And that acceptance leading to, okay, what does this person think about me? Right. And I thought about it when we was preparing for this podcast. I'm like, that's what advertising does. It allows us to see, okay, well, this is what beauty looks like. This is what fashion looks like. This is how you communicate. And people naturally want to gravitate towards that to be socially accepted. But you have to get to a point where you just stop caring about what other people think, other people's opinions, because guess what? Their opinions really does not matter when it comes to the overall success. And I think we're going to go through and talk about that 1% or that circle that you want to kind of lean on, but ultimately is your opinion what you think about yourself and things that you do that really matters.
Exactly. I think I heard Joel Osteen talked about when he was preaching. He's not going to put it the way I put it down. But out of 100 people, 25% of the people are going to love you no matter what. Okay. Another 25% of the people you can influence to like you. 25% not going to like you no matter how you treat them.
Yep.
And then another 25% is going to be you probably influence not to like you.
Yeah.
And so out of that, that really gives you a balance of like, okay, some people are going to like you, some people not going to like you, but you just have to go with it. And I was looking at this, like, how did we get into the foundation of having others to think about, of caring about what others' opinion of us is. And we were doing some research, and how we got to that is pretty much many thousands of years ago. We were tribal people. We were hunters, we were gatherers, and being a hunter and gatherers, we wanted the opinions of others. We wanted our people that were hunting with us to think that we were expert hunters. So those are the opinions that we got. Oh, I want to go with Ferris because Ferris know how to kill the lion. I want to go with Caleb because Caleb know how to fish real good. So we wanted those opinions of others to say, he's good in this area. He's a expert huntsman, or he's an expert person. That's how we got the value of others. And so now we have to move from that mindset of getting others' opinions to really inner survival. So we have to go from survival to thriving. And in order to thrive, thrivers don't really value or really accept so many opinions of others. They really kind of do it on their terms, and they pretty much definitely respectfully, in different cases, but they're not moved by what others people say.
Exactly. And I think thrivers, they have selective communities. They have individuals, they have communities of individuals where they may value the opinions, but it's very small. It's not everyone's weighted the same. It's not, okay, well, hey, whatever this person says, whatever that person says, whatever this person says, it's all weighted the same. Because when you're trying to thrive and go to the next level, you cannot go through and care about other people's opinion. You have to realize that everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Right.
But I don't have to go through and actually listen to it. It does not have to go through and actually carry weight in my life. And I think that's one thing when it came to back in the survival days, of course, tribally, you have to
you want to fit in, you want to be accepted,
because you have to depend on other people for you to survive.
Right.
Now the dependency is on you to go through and actually be your best person,
on yourself,
and to be true to yourself.
Right.
And realizing that there are other people that's going to go through that you have that carries weight in your life. And I think that's one thing that is very important.
Yeah. One thing I would encourage others to do is write a list. Write a list of people that you really value their opinions of you, because especially in a social media driven world, we have hundreds. You can put a picture on social media and you get 100 comments. People say, "Oh, I didn't like how he looked," or why he going on this trip, or what kind of shoes are those. You can get all these different opinions, and you can really be influenced about that. Well, should I post the next picture, or did I really look that way on that picture? Or you could have all of these judgment thoughts and really cripple you into a mindset of, I don't even want to post. I don't want to share. I don't want to pursue this new venture. I don't want to go back to school. I don't want to start this new business because of other people's opinion. And so I would encourage you to write a list of people that you really value their opinion, people that are not jealous, people that are not judgmental. And believe it or not, you may see that list go from hundreds to maybe five, or a few, or less than five, because we tend to value others' opinions so much more, or give other people the power instead of take that power for ourselves.
Man, and I think that's so powerful what you said. Like, anytime I look at my life and I try to go through, like I have 5 fingers, I try to keep definitely my opinion of what I think and what the decision I make is definitely on me, and I value my opinion the most. But I never try to get past 5, because I'm like, what, my circle is this right here, and I have individuals in different categories that are weighted when that comes to making different decisions where their opinion, it matters. Of course, the ultimate decision is on me, but my thing is their opinions matter.
Right.
Like my wife, my mom, your opinion, a couple of my good friends. Those are the opinions that really matter, because I know that the truth lies into my circle, knowing that if for some reason I'm going down the wrong path, I know I have these circle of individuals that's going to go through and get me back on path, because I may not see something from that perspective. So those individuals' opinions that I truly value, and it really matters. But I think so many times we give everybody the same weight, and you can't do that.
You can't do that. And and some people that you truly love may not make the cut.
May not make the cut.
And so it's okay, because and that's going to give you so much freeing mental space. Man. That's going to free your mental space. So now you realize, you know what, why am I not pursuing this? What opinions am I thinking about my friend that I haven't seen 15 years that graduated from me from high school, you know, their opinion and what they're going to think? Or am I really just being crippled by that? Or am I valuing the opinion of my few or my select few? And so I would say that's going to really free you up. You know, like my dad didn't make my list. He didn't make my list of opinions that I, you know, would truly value. You know, first, you know, he wasn't too involved in my life, but I do love my dad. I do care about him, but you know, making a decision if I should do something or I should not do something is not necessarily, you know, a decision that I would pretty much kind of a life and death decision. I need to have my dad's approval for that. You know, he's going to give me good advice and good suggestions, but I'm doing it because of what I feel is right. And so, but my mom, you made the list. Mom made the list.
And I think that because when people give their opinion, which everyone's entitled to,
right,
that lessens the emotional connection. I think so many times if someone gives an opinion and it's weighted, emotional ties come to it. Right. But when you put people in the right perspective, in the right place, your emotions are not so strong about what they may say or what perception that they may actually, or opinion that they may give, because guess what? You're not in my circle. And I think those are the parts right there where the sensitivity comes from both parties, where again, individuals, they can come to you and say, you know what, hey Caleb, I think you should wear this shoe, or Caleb, hey, you should be doing this. But guess what? Your opinion really, you know what? That's great. I'm glad you thought of me.
Thank you for your opinion.
You thought enough of me to go there and bring your opinion, but guess what? You're not in my circle.
Right.
And so, but that actually lessens the mental load, the anxiety, the stress, the strife, or whatever. Because guess what? When you know what position they're in, it's like, you know what? That's just your opinion. God bless you. Have a great day. Thank you. And that's it.
And one thing is, so once you make the list of the people that made the cut, you need to ask yourself a question. Am I listening to the people that are not on my list? Am I not doing something right now from the people that are not on my list?
Yes.
Am I not starting a business? Am I not going to school? Do I think I'm not good enough? Do I not pursue this relationship because of what others would think? And so you have to remove that totally from your mindset. You have to remember, if you want to get in a thriving environment or atmosphere, you have to make those decisions yourself. If you want to survive, you're going to be crippled by others.
Exactly. And I think the responsibility of us as individuals is to go through and ensure that we live an impactful life, we live a fulfilled life, and realize that 99% of what people say really doesn't matter. It only matters with that 1% that you say to yourself and those individuals around you. That's the only thing that matters. So I think that, Caleb, as we continue to go through and actually and as everyone continue to have this conversation with yourselves and with others, I would challenge people to go through and think about your circle. Right. I would go through and first think about your made up mind. Okay, well, hey, what am I telling myself? Because your opinion truly matters. But then also go through and evaluate your circle. If you're giving too much weight to so many people, it's time for you to shrink that circle up a little bit.
Exactly.
It's time to go through and actually, instead of having 80 people on it, bring it down a little bit and bring it down a little bit, because everyone's opinion should not matter in your life as well.
Exactly. I can remember even Fair starting this business, this business, home care business. We started this business for going on 15 years, 15 years ago. And, I was in college and, I did an internship and, had a full ride to South Carolina State University. And, my mom is one of those opinions that I really value. My mom said, you know what, kid, I don't think this is the right time for you to start the business, maybe finish college, etc. And so even though that was an opinion that I valued, sometimes in life you're gonna have people that give you advice that may be a brain advice. That may be something really, really smart. But then you have your brain advice and you have your gut advice. And so sometimes in my gut, I knew within myself, it's like, no, this is the right time. This is the right season. I need to go after this goal because it's gonna really impact my life. And so even though my mom was a person that I valued opinion, I didn't necessarily take her advice because I realized that was was a gut. And I feel like your gut is like a emotional compass. Like it really drives and tells you where you need to go. And so my gut told me, no, you need to start it. You need to write the policy. You need to submit your application. You need to go after your dreams. And so just want you to know this, like even the people on your list, even though they're encouraging, they're not jealous, they give you love and support, you still have to make a decision for yourself. And sometimes you have to go with your gut.
Yes. And as you were talking about that, I was kind of reminded of the poem Invictus by William Ernest Henley. And that's where he talks about you being the master of your fate. That's the part right there, is that's what your gut allows you to do, is to be the master of your fate. Opinions, they vary, right, but ultimately your opinion and what you think of yourself is the one that matters. Oh my goodness.
Well, this was a strong episode right here about opinions, and I hope this liberated people. You know, this was a liberating thing, especially as we go, Ferris, and be more successful in our home care business and do other new business ventures. You know, I think I'm not only I'm going to continue to critique my list of who advice and opinions should I warrant, and sometimes I need to hear those other advices and those naysayers, but realizing to myself that, you know, I can keep going, and because I'm going to ultimately make that decision. So this was a liberating episode. I felt like loads were lifted. Felt like we just went to church.
Exactly, man. And I know others who are tuning in, they're having the same thing as well. And one thing we would encourage you to do is go through, leave some comments below, allow us, go through and put some things down about your list, your journey on this liberating experience, because one thing is, the goal is for individuals to realize that you can live your best life, and you can go through and impact others as well, just by being you. By simply being you, you are the answer to someone's problem. You are the solution to some problems out there right now. So just continue to go through and do that, because other opinions don't really matter. And
Farrah, guess what? The people that are behind you, those 1% people, those are people going to love you, encourage you no matter what.
Exactly.
That's what I realized. So you can say, you know, the sky's blue. They can be like, you know what? They gonna give you sound advice, you know, but the sky, okay, well, tell me from your perspective. Tell me why you feel the sky is blue. Exactly. All right, well, you know, they're gonna hear you out. But the ones that, you know, you're pretty much you just go after your goals. Go after your goals. Don't worry about what other people say. Don't worry about what other people think. How you should act or how you should feel. Do you, and guess what? The sky's gonna be the limit.
Kayla, it's been a great episode, man, and just, I know it touched individuals. This was something that, as we continue to go through and actually evolve as the Homecare Guyz, of course, our goal is to go through and actually introduce individuals to the home care space and talk about some things that we do behind the scenes within our agency, and some things that people, some best practices, etc. But also, we realize that majority of our audience, they may not be home care entrepreneurs. They may be individuals that are in search of their own entrepreneurial path. They may be individuals that are really good at their jobs, or career-minded individuals. But we know that the content that we're bringing is somewhat uplifting and somewhat encouraging, and it's going to be challenging sometimes, but it's going to encourage people to go to live their best life as well.
And these are all leadership, especially when you're taking the risk, whether you're starting a home care business or any business. You know, you're going to have naysayers.
Yes.
You know, so you want to make sure that you go in and you don't necessarily barriers of opinions. You know, where will your life be 5 years from now if you would have took that person's opinion or advice, you know? And so one thing you want to make sure that you do is you pursue. And so these are not only just great podcast topics, but these are things that should encourage you and uplift you to pursue your dreams. If it's entrepreneurship, or if it's going back to school, or whatever, these should be things that you should hear on a day-to-day basis.
Perfect.
Remember to go to Spotify. Definitely subscribe to Conversation with the Homecare Guyz, as well as follow us. Click that little bell so you can hear that notification of whenever we have our episodes come out. You'll be the first ones to watch.
Perfect. Also, get a chance to click the link below, because we want to hear feedback from you. We want to hear your voice. We want to see the things that you write as well. So please leave us some feedback, because we want this to be an engaging conversation, because again, that's what it's called, Conversations with the Homecare Guyz. It's not a one-way street. It's a conversation as well.
Exactly.
So you guys have an amazing week, and we look forward to going through and actually give you more and more episodes to enlighten your life.
Have a good day.
All right.